Hello everyone and welcome to VapeTheGathering, and I'm new, technically, to the group, but I know everybody who's in the group, and so I'm new for you guys, but today I'll be reviewing Mother's Milk, Bound by the Crown, Madrina, and Fight Your Fate. These two are King's Crown, and these two are Suicide Bunny. So let me readjust the camera because I'm using a computer to hold my phone up. So I know that the other guys have addressed this one, but I'm gonna do it for my own account. And these two, well, these three, they have not. So these two are the ones that are still new, and this one's the one that's already been seen. I have King's Crown already prepared on this. This is a iStick 50 watt, which some people might already know by just looking at it. And this is a Buddha. Oh, that's the wrong side. This is a Buddha. And I just got this RDA not that long ago. So I've been using it for a while, and I think I might need new coils. Because I have the regular, I can't remember what they're called now, though. Canthol. I have the regular Canthol coils in it, nothing too special. Dual coils, though one doesn't fire as much as the other one does, which probably means I need more juice. Coming from the mod, I'm going to get one here eventually. So, let's go. Kinda, I don't know, what I get from it is like kind of like a popcornish flavor. But this one I have been trying to kind of get used to. I don't like it as much because it seems to me like even at like 50 watts, which is I actually have it at voltage control, which I have it at 4.4 watts, which is actually 48.4 volts, which is actually 48.4 watts. And it doesn't seem to like it as much as any of these other ones. So this one, it's not my favorite flavor. Favorite out of the bunch is the Madrina. It's kind of, well, I'll show it to you. But I have to burn this off real quick, so I'll give you a little information on me for people who don't know who I am. I do also have another YouTube channel. I'm not going to self-sponsor here, so if you know me, you know me. So, and then I'm actually in IT for a company. I do networking and refurbs to customer service and doing some diagnostics and stuff. It's a really small company, but for right now it's really small. We've only got a few people, but we do corporate, and from what I know is like we had a guy who ordered a computer from us from New Jersey, which is not a small feat, and we actually ran that out to him personally. We did not ship it to him, we ran it out to him personally. and that I like. We're right up, and we do everything. We don't technically ship out the parts. We run it straight to the people who want it, which means it's in much better care than, say, the post office sending it out. So, and I do your customer support and everything. If I haven't mentioned that already, I might have. I just graduated high school, so I'm 18 and confirmed graduate. Let's see. Went to a technical institute called Suntech, and I got 2 certifications there, one for copper, one for fiber, and it's mostly what I do. I'm a corporate worker. I go out on corporate jobs. In fact, right now we've got a big job coming up that's going to last for a few days, basically in the middle of nowhere, running some fiber. So with that, it's going to be a pretty nice job. Am I dry yet? Later. Huh? Later, I'm doing a review. I'm on camera. And I'm a little IT guy. Nothing special. I built my own computer when I was in school. A little statistics on it. I have an i7 4970K in it. Devil's Canyon. It benchmarks at about 11 to 12,000, which is pretty good for it's a DDR3 processor. For anyone who knows computing and who's watching this, it's a pretty nice one that runs DDR3 memory, which I put only 18 gigs of memory on it. Not 18, 8 gigs of memory on it, which is all I need. I don't need anything higher, unless I really want to run anything like very strong. But I have a 970 in it as well, NVIDIA GTX 970. Good for doing anything with virtual reality. I haven't gotten there yet. It will be eventually happening. And then water cooling for overclocking, which I haven't done yet because I still need to learn how to. It does have a turbo of 4.7 for the processor, gigahertz, which is pretty nice. I like it. There's Pop-Tarts. And so then I have also a killer motherboard in it, which was pretty good at the time when it came out. I don't know many people who use it anymore. I did have another friend who decided to go with the 970, which is one here on the channel. He was on here from the beginning. Not so much anymore as we went along. Blue raspberry! Jesus Christ. And, so, you got me so off track. Let me just see if I can get this out here. And, other than that, I have the standard DVD drive, which I know a lot of people don't like to have in their computer, but it's handy for me because I do it for normal everyday to extreme gaming. I've ran Just Cause 3 at all high graphics. I have great frames. I've ran tests on it. If anybody knows 3D Mark for computers, I could only run the Skydiver test because somehow I'm missing files for Firestorm, which is the extreme graphics test. And my score was like 29,000, which is better than 90% of the people who test their computer for that. So it's pretty good. I think I've got right below the highest available memory you can use on the board. And if you would use the higher memory, you literally have to like fiddle in the BIOS of the computer to try and get to be able to read that speed. It's not a very normal speed for any motherboard. It came out a little later for the DDR3 motherboard, so it needs like an extra little push in the BIOS to be able to use it. And that I didn't want to fiddle with because I didn't know how to do it. I'm good with the computers, but that's just one thing I don't know how to do. That should be good enough. So I'm going to swap out, and I'm going to put Mother's Milk on. So, and I don't know. I would love to have a second person here, but I'm by myself. We got the two in college, which I don't get to see very often, and I would do the reviews with them, but like I said, I don't see them as often. A little bit more information for you guys is that just like the others, I am a brony, so it's nothing new. I like this one. I like this one a lot better than I do Bound by the Crown. However, I know I'll have a little bit more of a mix of Mother's Milk with Bound by the Crown. But I do like this one better. It's got more like, I don't want to say a watermelon taste to it. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. It's very close to a watermelon taste. I'm also trying to kind of separate it from this because I know this is on there a little bit too. It's going to be left over because my one coil fires pretty well, and the other side is kind of like a sleeper coil. It doesn't completely work. It spits, but it doesn't. That's what I want to say. It spits, but it doesn't. But eventually I'm going to get a new mod. For anyone who knows about this one, I'm going to mention it real quick. It takes 3 batteries. It's kind of square, more of a square shape than the normal rectangle for these. 3 in the front, then you have the display, the LED display in the front. It's got the buttons on the bottom and the fire button on the top. They come in like white, black, then like a whitish with a green, and then a black with a red, or it can be a black, I think, with a white covers. There's a purple one. I don't know the name of it. So if anybody knows what I'm talking about, please mention it in the comments or anything like that, because I can't think of the name of it right now, and I I don't know, I could look it up later, but and add it into the description. So I'll try to see if I can do that. And this is my first RDA. This is my tank that I use, and this has the Madrina in it. Because I really like that one. It's got really nice flavor to it. And right now, this is my cloud machine. This is the one I really like to use. But otherwise, until I get like something better, it'll be really nice. And okay, going further into like the brony thing, I got into being a brony when I was freshman year. I used to absolutely hate them. I would hate the word. I hated the people until I actually started watching the show myself. Like, it started one day. I was watching just a completely random YouTube video, and a link to an MLP video that somebody made. It was like, somebody made it kind of funny. And I was like, okay. I looked further, and then I actually got to an episode. I think it might have been the first or second episode. And so after that, I was like, you know what? I think I'm kind of interested. And I started watching them. And I was like, yeah, they're not too bad. They're not actually as bad as, a normal person would think they were. So with that, I was like, yes, that's something I actually want to watch and see. And then I meet people, and these people are actually pretty amazing. The music is amazing. The music on the show is great, but then when people go and take the music from the show and actually like edit it a little bit and add some bass and stuff and do some tweaking on it, it's like, this is amazing. This is great. So that's how I got in that. And I met everyone who has already been in a video on this channel. I met everyone like sophomore year, and then like between sophomore year, I met everyone. I met two others, and we just became a group. There's one other on this channel that there's one other that isn't on this channel. He hasn't done any videos, and he's an amazing person as well. And I'm still friends with him to this day. We still watch, and it's fun just to talk about and think of all the crazy situations that they get themselves into, and it's fun just to be around and talk about it, because it may be an odd thing to think about and talk about, but it's, once you actually get into the society, the social part of it and everything, these people are nice, easygoing people, and they're not afraid to open a door to people and share things that they want to share. And I just love being a part of the community. Ooh, that was red. That might have burned a little bit. Anyway, next juice is the Madrina. I'm going to put this on. This is my favorite one. I don't want that much on. But anyway, other than that. And hopefully I didn't burn anything. That would be nice. Oh, such a wonderful taste. It's like orange. I kind of think it's supposed to be like mandarin oranges because it kind of has that flavor and it's nice and sweet and it's really good. If you ever get this juice, I guarantee you it will be one of your favorite juices. So that right there is amazing. So and it like how some juices aren't very good with temp. This one doesn't have that problem. It's really, really good. No matter what I do, it's still good, and that's why I keep it in like everything. Like I don't want to run out of this, but I know it will. I have a little bit in here. I might be able to use that for later. But it's really good. It's one of my favorites out of these four. And I think that's kind of why it's called Madrina. I think the Madrina part of it. I know how juices don't always, the names don't always go with the juice. But this one, I think it is kind of like an orangish taste. And the Madrina part of it kind of makes me think maybe it's something to do with mandarin oranges. And it's really good. So if you ever go out and you find this, definitely buy it. It's one of the best. I'm going to go for a large long hit because I've been really doing little weak stuff right now. So I'm going to go for a little bit of a bigger long hit. That one might have turned out a little bit burnt, and it's starting to run out, so at least that's better. Time consignment isn't exactly the best, so. And tell you more about this tank. This is an Arctic tank, for anyone who was wondering. It is an Arctic tank. It's got a nickel coil in it for temp control. And it doesn't produce that much, but you can definitely take longer hits in this thing. This thing can handle it. I haven't burnt it. I have it a little bit burnt, but I think that's because I was doing a little dry, because this has like a reservoir in the bottom, and you can't always tell where you are at. And I knew I was getting low, but I didn't know how low. And the top part of my coil was a little burnt, but it was like only a little bit. I've had the previous coil I had in this got burnt because when I was trying to clean this out, the top part, the drip tip was a little. I was washing it out, got a little bit of water in it, so when I took the next hit, there was water that dripped down, and it burnt the top part of my coil. So that's another thing I have to try and make sure that doesn't happen, because this comes apart and it does that. It has two different pieces, and I'm guessing water got in here, and it was like the first time I cleaned it, so I didn't exactly know everything of what I was doing. And it burned the top part, so I had a replacement, and I replaced it. So a little furthermore, past the brony, I am also a furry. I don't have anything to say that I am. I make little teeny tiny things, but it's nothing great. Because I am not a great person with trying to put things together out of fabric. I can be at times. I did make a costume for someone the one time, and it was just it was a cloak with fur around it, and I went and I did it at home, and then when I saw him after I had this part done, I went and I sewed a little bit around his neck, so it was kind of more like a robe. Like you could actually throw the hood up and everything. I had a button, but I sewed around here so that it can actually come together. But otherwise, I'm not great with that stuff, so I'm definitely going to be purchasing from a better maker than myself. So, though I know many people who would say the exact same thing, because sometimes if you don't entirely know what you're doing, like I know how to use a sewing machine, but the stitching doesn't quite always work for me. So it didn't exactly work as well as I wanted it to. So with that, I can do a little bit of stuff, but I can't. I would never say I was really good at it. I can just say I know a little bit of how to do it. But otherwise, that's about it. I can take about 1-2 more hits off this, and then I can switch it over. Alright. There we go. I'm going to switch it over now. That one tastes a little bit burnt, so I might want a little further than I should have there. And this is the Fight Your Fate that we already did show, but out of my own personal account and taste, I am going to show it on this. So now this is a very temperamental juice. When I had it in here, it always tasted burnt. I don't know why. But once I put it in here, it actually tasted really good. So it actually tasted like it should have. It's supposed to be, from what I was told, it's supposed to be like a lemonade, kind of. I definitely, when I put it in here, I can definitely taste a little bit of it. Yeah, it's like a lemonade kind of flavor, and it doesn't really hit very hard. It doesn't hit as hard as this does, but it definitely does taste a little bit like kind of like a lemonade. You can definitely taste kind of like a tangy kind of lemon flavor, and that's exactly what I'm getting from it. So but anyway, other than that, that's all the juices, but I will show you just how much this works, and it's my favorite flavor, so that'll be great. Let me take this off real quick. It's a little slippery and it's a little warm, so alright. One sec. I need to clean this off a little bit. And this one quite fits well with this eye stick. This and this, after I get a new mod, will be for driving. This will be my driving one. And then this with whatever mod I get will be my cloud and stuff one for that. So, and as a 0.3 ohm, this varies from a 0.4 to a 0.7. It's never went up higher than a 0.7. So, I'm actually happy that it does that. But this used to be my everyday. This has been put on reserve, basically, because I don't use it as much. It's not that bad, but definitely after not using it for a little bit, it definitely feels a little small because this has such a big drip tip compared to this little tiny drip tip. It feels a little small to me, but it's pretty nice for producing, and it doesn't show as much flavor as my RDA does, but it's still pretty nice for what it is, and it holds. Let's see, I can fill this. I have to take 3 full drips out of this to fill this thing. So it holds quite a bit, and it's pretty nice. So that is the Arctic. So other than that, I've got nothing else for today. I may show later any other juices that I get, which would include custom juices and maybe a little bit of the regular premium like these. So I guess I'm gonna be signing off, and see all you vapors later. And remember, smoking is out, vaping is in.